I've been getting approached by the Manitoba Beekeeping Association to run as a director. I've been getting approached for the last 5 or 7 years now, and I've always turned them down. The reason being is, I'm pretty busy. I always seem to use being busy as an excuse. I think that's a good excuse to hide behind sometimes, but the biggest reason was is just because of my inability to speak in front of the public. And it seems like this year I've been working at that. I was invited to speak at the BC Honey Producers Association convention. That was a big step and a big commitment for me to make, but I forced myself to do it. I forced myself to find a way to be able to overcome this fear of public speaking. These videos have been one of the reasons why I've been able to communicate openly with in front of crowds now. I'm a lot more comfortable now. I don't get as anxious thinking about the thought of talking in front of people. So without that, the guys approached me again, and I actually considered it. So I've decided to let my name stand as director on the Manitoba Beekeeping Association. And I'm actually getting quite excited about possibly being able to sit as director. I still have to get voted in by the membership, and as long as the membership will accept me in onto the board, I think I can do a lot of good here. So I just want to talk to the membership a little bit here and tell you why I want to become a director on the Manitoba Beekeeping Association. Well, I've been beekeeping for 19 years now. 19 years ago, I bought my first 4 hives. A few years after that, I built up to 250 hives, signed a contract with BeeMate. So I've been a contract BeeMate holder for the last 15 years. Built my business. It's been quite the incredible journey until now. I have like roughly 1,500 hives sitting in my winter shed right now, and a reasonable honey operation behind me. The passion I have for this business drives me forward. One of the reasons why I worked on my public speaking fear is just because I wanted to be able to express myself better. And one of the reasons I wanted to express myself better is because I wanted to do more for this industry. I wanted to execute some of these ideas and use some of this energy I have towards the industry, which I have so much passion for. One of the projects I'm very interested in, and one of my main motivating factors of joining with the Beekeeping Association, is developing a tech transfer team. I think of any other time in beekeeping history right now is the time we need guys in the field helping us navigate through all these issues. We need guys here. We don't need to be listening to guys in Alberta or Ontario or Nova Scotia. We need guys in Manitoba right now working on issues to solve our beekeeping issues. We have so much brilliance out there worldwide with all this technical information and innovation and ideas to help solve some of these issues we have in our beekeeping industry. I just can't translate any of that down to my beekeeping operation. I just can't bridge that gap. I need help. We need somebody in our Manitoba beekeeping industry. We need a group of people working together to address these issues that I have and the rest of the beekeepers in Manitoba have, and work on these issues at home and try to translate some of this innovation down to our beekeeping operation. Something that we can actually use, something organic, something we can grab onto. Another thing driving my purpose as a Manitoba beekeeping representative would be helping guys establish a CFIA registered honey house. There are a lot of guys moving forward with those projects, and there's a lot of guys who are resisting, and I can't do anything for the guys who don't want to progress themselves, like move forward. But I know for a fact there's a lot of guys out there that just don't know what to do. Just so intimidated with the whole process, they don't know where to start. And maybe I could land myself as, a very casual, honest advisor. Just come in, invite me in for some coffee, sit down, and just go through. These are the things you're probably going to have to address. Look at these issues, and then after these issues are taken care of, looking at your plan, going through your plan, making sure everything's addressed, and then inviting this inspector in. I mean, how many guys are sitting with a facility that could be registered right now, but just won't pull the trigger? And maybe they just need somebody to help them, encourage to go through the process. So maybe I can lend myself there a little bit, just to help guys, work their way through this registration process, because I think it's important for our industry. I also feel I could help maybe, with the whole education process with beekeepers in the business. There's lots of beekeepers with lots of questions. I started with 4 hives, and I've worked through all the steps right up to here. I'm 1,500 hives. I've made all the mistakes. I've found all the solutions. I've asked all the questions. I've searched for all those answers, and I can relate to a lot of guys. I have a ton of ideas. I could maybe find myself useful at some of these conventions, putting together some of these conventions on enlightening and inspiring beekeepers. I have some really good ideas. Also putting on workshops, takes a lot of energy to do stuff like that, but I'm motivated. I have lots of energy. Put some workshops on, get some guys out in the field, just seeing what, different ideas and things we can do. You have some guys really good in the Manitoba Beekeeping Association right now that are really good at connecting with industry, externally. More of that boardroom level work. That kind of stuff I'm not really good at. I'm more of a meat and potatoes, down in the trenches kind of guy. I can see myself providing a little bit of benefit that way. Another thing I think I could help the Manitoba Beekeeping Association with is exposure. Now these guys are working tremendously hard to benefit the rest of us in this province. And I don't know how many times I talk to guys don't see the importance of the Beekeeping Association. I mean, they're doing all this work to drive our industry forward, but nobody's seeing what's going on. I find that a huge problem. This day and age, we have the ability to connect with people so easy. We just need to know how. The Manitoba Beekeeping Association has to do a better job at selling themselves. They have to open up and present themselves, show the work they're doing throughout the year. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like, I do these videos. I contribute to Facebook and my blog probably once a day, which is a lot. But even a week, once a week, even once a month, just showing the work you're doing, working for beekeepers, be it working back at home in your own hives, or be it working boardroom level, connecting with industry, like all this stuff should be put out there for membership consumption, just to see what they're doing. And maybe the membership would appreciate the work they're doing a little bit more. Making that connection. We got to make that connection. We have to be able to demonstrate and communicate with our membership. I'm a big believer of base support. We need the base of our industry, of our Manitoba beekeeping industry, to provide the direction for the board to work in. We need the base to drum up conversation and, express opinions and drive that narrative and drive that direction as hard as we can forward to make what we are trying to do a lot more profitable. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is dollars and cents, being able to do my job better than I did yesterday. So I don't know. I have a feeling I'm putting myself in pretty deep here, but I tend to do that. And all I can do now is, now that I've thrown my hat in the ring, is just ask the membership if they consider me. Let's see where this whole journey leads.